Winter storm path. Live updates as brutal mix of snow, ice hits millions. Everything from catastrophic ice accumulation to over a foot of snow and double-digit subzero temperatures are expected to hit places east of the Rocky Mountains. Jeanine Santucci, Mike Snider, Dinah Voyles Pulver, Zachary Schermele, Michael Loria, Jonathan Limehouse. A fierce winter storm continued its trek across the United States on Saturday after dumping inches of snow on cities including from Little Rock, Arkansas, to Tulsa, Oklahoma. More than 130,000 utility customers in the storm's path were without power. The storm, expected to be the most significant so far this winter season, will impact most of the nation east of the Rocky Mountains with snow and ice, and usher in some of the coldest temperatures seen in years, forecasters have said. Americans in most of the eastern half of the country were under extreme winter weather alerts on Saturday. The storm began out of Texas and Oklahoma Friday evening, hitting the region with heavy sleet and snow. Forecasters have warned of catastrophic ice accumulation. On Saturday, the system pushed towards Virginia, with the forecast calling for a foot of snow or more to be dumped on parts of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic, while New England endured double-digit subzero temperatures. Take this storm seriously, folks. The National Weather Service warned in statements on social media. The cold can be deadly. By Saturday evening, forecasters in Lubbock, Texas, continued to stress the dangerous driving conditions and, if possible, urged delaying all travel amid an ongoing winter storm warning. The country also faced thousands of weekend flights being scrapped. Catholic faith leaders from Arkansas to Washington, D.C., giving special permission to miss Mass. Trump administration officials telling employees to skip coming into work, and even ice hockey teams being forced to reschedule. What makes this storm especially dangerous is the duration of impacts. Some locations could endure 24 hours or more of freezing rain, ice, or snow. AccuWeather senior meteorologist Dan Pidanowski said, "Here's what to know about the weekend storm expected to hit tens of millions of Americans. See maps showing path of winter storm. More than 170 million people remain under winter weather warnings and advisories for Sunday, January 25th, according to the National Weather Service, part of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. But a break in the storm conditions, but not the cold, is in sight for the eastern U.S. These maps and graphics from the National Weather Service and its Weather Prediction Center reveal what's still in the forecast, how much snow or ice you might get, and when your chances for storm impacts will ease." Dinah Voyles Pulver. Thousands of power outages reported amid historic winter storm. Power outages are piling up across the country, with over 49,000 reported in Texas and over 45,000 reported in Louisiana as of 9 p.m. Central Time. More than a dozen states are reporting outages during the winter storm on Saturday, January 24. More than 130,000 outages were affecting utility customers across the path of the storm as of Saturday evening. The scale and severity of this storm are historic, and so is the response. Drew Maloney, president and CEO of the Edison Electric Institute, told USA Today on Saturday. The institute represents U.S. investor-owned electric companies. According to Maloney, more than 63,000 mutual assistance workers have been assembled from more than 40 states and the District of Columbia to stand ready to safely restore power, even as ice and extreme winter conditions create dangerous challenges. Maloney and the Edison Electric Institute are not the only ones stepping up to keep people's lights on, as several U.S. electric grid operators upped precautions to avoid rotating blackouts, Reuters reported. Trump approves federal disaster declarations for a dozen states. On Saturday, President Donald Trump called the winter storm historic, as he approved federal emergency disaster declarations in South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, Arkansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Indiana, and West Virginia. How the Trump administration responds to the storm will be under the microscope after hundreds of thousands of federal employees were fired in 2025 through downsizing. The president, who returned to the White House on January 22 after attending the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, is expected to remain in Washington through the weekend rather than travel to his Mar-a-Lago resort home in Florida. We will continue to monitor and stay in touch with all states in the path of the storm. Stay safe and stay warm. Trump wrote in a post on Truth Social. USA Today staff. What is winter storm Fern? Winter storm Fern is the name used by the Weather Channel to identify this winter storm in its coverage and social media posts. While the TV network names storms that reach a certain threshold, the National Weather Service does not name winter storms. Hurricanes and tropical cyclones are named using the well-known international system for identifying those storms because it's not uncommon to have more than one hurricane or tropical storm spinning around at any given time. Without names, it could be confusing for meteorologists and people who might be in harm's way. The Weather Service stated in an email to USA Today that it has no plans to consider naming winter storms.